So we got Ina Ramatika, Saya Zori Anak Perempuan Gandhi, me myself, Muhammad Hakim, lastly Sheikh Arman bin Muhammad Azizo. And we're all from DIM, companies that we'll be researching about or we may be presenting.
So the company we chose is KPJ Healthcare Berhad, which is a private health company in Malaysia. And also KPJ Healthcare is known as specialized in hospitality and medical care, which they established in 1981, which is at Johor Corporation subsidiaries, which they have 28 hospitals in Malaysia. Also, they offer a general medical service, which they give treatment, diagnostics, and wellness program. By this, they expanding international to provide quality healthcare, which is they give healthcare education from KPJ Healthcare University College that they found on 1991.
So these are the vision and mission of KPJ Healthcare Berhad. Okay, first of all, the vision of KPJ Healthcare is the preferred healthcare provider, which is mean to their aims to be the top choice for healthcare service and also focusing on clinical excellence and innovative medical technology. KPJ Healthcare also expanding healthcare service across Malaysia and internationally, as Tanishwari explained just now. Meanwhile, for their mission is deliver quality healthcare service, which is to commit patient-centered care and also using advanced medical technology to improve healthcare service.
Main objective is the expansion and to provide a good service quality to all of its patients. They also intended to create an innovation and digital healthcare that can further increase the effectiveness. And the third one is employee development, which means they will help and train their employees to be the best of the best, and also give a workforce training for the employee so that they can be expert and be knowledgeable about what they are doing when they're inside the KPJ Healthcare Berhad. Social responsibility, CSR, and also community support, which they
analysis, and POLC, which is planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So, and reputation, because KPJ has been quite long here, and based on KPJ, they have two types that I've known, which is the one in Damansara and the one in Ampang. So, based on its reputation, is that it's regarded one of the best in Malaysia based on healthcare. Number two, market leadership. Market leadership, this they would say is like they have more than 20 hospitals. So, like back in 2010, they have more than 2,500 beds, but right now they increased to 30% and 35% based on private patients. So it's getting larger and larger for their facility, or I may say their area or their building, like that. So number two, weaknesses. So what are their weaknesses? So basically, KPJ didn't just open up in Malaysia, but they tried to open in Bangladesh and Saudi Arabia, but it didn't happen well based on management and how they operate in their own hospitals. Yeah, that is for failure in overseas expansion. Second part is certification. So looking back down here, that it is not certified, or I may say that how am I supposed to open up that they have received, like, supposedly the fact of them needing the certification to open up with quality in health, which is like how I may say Malaysia Society. That is the certification where they're supposed to be received, but have not, and they have much places that is not open up. I would count like that. So that is for weaknesses. Opportunities. Opportunities I will put through healthcare insurance and education. Healthcare insurance, they regardless on, not to say regardless, but they regard it on public awareness. So like people who has like how I may put up issues with insurance, so like they provide healthcare insurance, so it's easy for patients to come in. Second of all, healthcare education. So healthcare education, example, they actually do have students where they actually study in or where they learn in KPJ. So they open up at least 2,500 students at this moment, where master skills are around 18,000. So it's actually good for them to learn about hospitality or anything about nursing or anything regarded to pharmacy or pharmacists. Okay, that is opportunity. Lastly, threats. Threats here, I may say increasing of the competition. Competition here, I may say that KPJ is not only I may put up a private hospital, but more like there's a competitor like I may put Colombia. Colombia Hospital is one of the competitors, which is still fighting and observing based on how they place it differently. And then insurance company. So insurance company, they would negotiate for discount. So like how I may say, when you go in and you had an accident, and then insurance will be covering up, so company will be actually negotiating about discounts for the patient itself. So it's quite difficult for them. I may put up like that. So these are the SWOT analysis that I try to put up. Next, I'm gonna put POLC. POLC, based on planning, they actually try to prefer to be a healthcare provider, and they really did since 1981, and they deliver quite an excellent clinic outcome. And yeah, it's actually good right now because everyone's looking forward to KPJ. And number two, I'll put organizing. So based on their system, they actually use Google Workspace despite of them using their own system, which really use a lot of expenses throughout that system. And yeah, they have a really proper streamline through its communication. Number three, leading. So based on how they lead, they navigate their healthcare industry by actually having a great leadership. So with great leadership, you get motivation and good management. And then they have a competitive edge. So competitive edge, they will be like creating actually an exciting environment and quite a promoting creative thinking. Yeah, that's for leading. And then lastly, controlling. So what do they control in KPJ is that they actually track their performance based on their financial analysis. Tools like SPSS, one of their systems, if I'm not mistaken. And they actually counted it and assess financial facts. They look by making wise choices through how they guarantee about company or corporate objectives that actually can fulfill in the organization.
So as we see, KPJ Healthcare Berhad CSR, which stands for Corporate Social Responsibilities. Okay, so what this CSR means that companies efforts to operate on an ethical and sustainable way to consider social, environmental, and economic impact. So as we see, KPJ CSR, which is healthcare accessibility and community outreach, which they focus on they produce a large quantity of waste in the form of harmful and medical materials that need to be disposed of in a manner that will not pollute in the environmental. The second is environmental sustainability, which their management of resources, efficient waste disposal mechanism, and energy saving hospital facilities. And third one is for education and workforce development, which they have few colleges that I mentioned before, which is KPJ Healthcare University College, which is KPGU, and this is for good corporate governance and ethical business practice. So they give a good quality of education. And lastly is for ethical business practices and governance, which is environmental, social, and governance (ESG), which they give for the FTSE for good index rewarding good ESG performers, has KPJ Healthcare Berhad as the company that has been rewarded for its contribution that I mentioned before, which is ESG. Thank you. Which is Nestle, as you all know. Nestle is a food industry that in Malaysia, which is owned as the world biggest food and beverage manufacturer, which is founded on 1912 and moved to Kuala Lumpur and in 1939, which is a local manufacturing in 1962. Also, Nestle have 6 factories in Malaysia, which have more than 500 halal products that cater to a range of consumer with well-known brand, which is Milo, Maggi, Nestle, and KitKat is under Nestle.
Okay, and now we are going to vision and mission of Nestle, which one of the food and beverage industry in Malaysia. So the vision of the company is to be a global leader in nutrition, health, and wellness. So Nestle is showing on how to improve people life through the high and quality food and beverage. They are also focusing on sustainability, health, and well-being. They are also invest in research to create better and healthier products. So now is the mission of Nestle, which is enhancing quality of life and contributing to a healthier future. So the mission is to provide nutritious food and beverage for different dietary needs. They also promote sustainability through responsible sourcing and environmental effort. Lastly, they are support global health and wellness initiative. That's all from me.
So what is Nestle objective? Which is the sustainability, to sustain everything that they do, and also environmental responsibility, to be responsible for everything that they put in their food, and also health and nutrition innovation. They will try to increase the health and nutrition, like they try to innovate something new so that their product will have more nutrition in it, and also it can be good for health. And the third one, digital transformation and market growth. So what that means is like, and they will try to increase their advertising, and also their sales revenue and everything that related to that. And last but not least, community support, which I've also mentioned in the KPJ one, to give support to community and listen to what they need, and also develop their employee so that they can make sure the product and the nutrition value inside the product is suitable for all kind of age.
Analysis for Nestle strength shows that they actually have high brand values, which they actually cause the biggest food brand that provides worldwide products. A strong financial performance is that based on their supply chain operation, they actually not only help one brand or one category like milk, but actually handle a lot. So based on how they profit with their brands, they actually contribute to a high value type food, or I may say product. So number two, weaknesses causes problems in product marketing. So like I say, they could be under fire or poorly positioning by promoting their products, or I may say their formula for babies with 4 countries with polluted water. That could actually jeopardize public health. Highly complex organizational structure. Actually, Nestle really needs to have a structure in order to make both domestic and foreign supply chains that provide services with a wide range of worldwide customers. Number three, opportunities. Opportunities look more to e-commerce, which is marketing or advertising, and then through their I may say collaboration, they get sustained and reduce their costs, which they could actually boost their productivity and also get to manage their labor. So yeah, lastly, we put on threats. Threats could actually get climate impact. So based on their consumption, it's dairy, wheat, coffee. So dairy is their most used product, which could actually get negative effects if they slow down with their growth. And then followed by government regulations. Government regulations is that um they boost their products. They actually do have to cost with response to inflation, which actually could reduce sales or customers switch to less expensive option. For example, Farm Fresh. Those are the products that are actually getting reduced. TPOLC, I may say, Nestle plans to improve the living standards and satisfy their customers with their products, which how they may say health and nutrition. That is how they actually try to satisfy them and have a relationship with their customers, which is called loyalty. Organizing is their structuring operations and catering to different market needs. How I may say that, like for example, dairy products or nutrition, like I say, like health, and like how they open up with baby the nun, which is the French language of nutrition for babies. So they really look to their market needs. Third one, leading. So they actually promotes innovative and sustainable products, and they try to think creatively and try to encourage their employee to actually promote their products. Like in the mall, they advertise. They actually bring people like a side store to really advertise their products. And lastly, controlling. Controlling, they put to a high standard or having a strict quality control, which conducts a regular audit and actually looks through their performance. And they do have reviews about it.
Yes, for Nestle, I have provided 4 points, which is nutrition and health promotion. Okay, which is Nestle Malaysia actively promotes healthier living by promoting nutrition products, food products, and educational programs. Which is a great example is the Nestle Health Kids, which is NHK program, which launched in collaboration with the Nutrition Society of Malaysia and the Education Ministry of Malaysia. In this team, they focuses on educating children about proper nutrition, wellness, and health through engaging activities. NHT has positively impacted thousands of students by helping to instill their healthy eating habits from their young age. For the second point, environmental sustainability, which is Nestle Malaysia is committed to reducing its environmental impact to set ambitious carbon reduction goals by aiming to cut emission by at least 20% by 2025, half by 2030, and achieve net zero emission by 2050. A major milestone was the transition to 100% renewable electricity for all operation, which is at Malaysia from January 2022, which they are resulting in a reduction in greenhouse gas emission. For third point, which is community support and economic development, which is Nestle Malaysia support local communities by improving their livelihood and ensuring a sustainable supply chain. When COVID-19 pandemic, the company pledged 50 million in aid by distributing over 4.5 million worth of healthy products to more than 85,000 disadvantaged Malaysia. By supporting local businesses, the Bangkit Bersama Nestle program was introduced to help food and beverages companies to recover from the pandemic through digitalization and business development. And lastly is ethical business practices and employee welfare, which is Nestle Malaysia integrates ethical business practices into its operations, ensuring transparency, responsible marketing, and fair labor practices. This company emphasizes sustainability agriculture, responsible product labeling, and employee welfare as a part of its corporate values by aligning its business activity with the goal of improving their quality of life. Next slide. Malaysia is our last company. Okay, so Telekom Malaysia begins as the telecommunication department of Malaya in 1946, which is responsible for managing and developing communication service in the country. Second is formation of Syarikat Telekom Malaysia, STM, in 1987. The organization transitioned into Syarikat Telekom Malaysia, STM, as a part of Malaysia's effort to modernize and commercialize the telecommunication sector. And then, which is listing on the Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange in 1990. STM was listed on the Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange, KLSE, in 1990, which marking a special step in its corporate growth and expansion. Last is rebranding as the Telekom Malaysia Berhad, and they introduced advanced telecommunication technologies, including integrated service digital network, which is ISDN, and video conferencing in the 1990s.
Vision and mission for Telekom Malaysia. The vision is to make life and business easier for a better Malaysia. This is because Telekom Malaysia focusing a lot on digital transformation and innovation. They are also aims to provide high-speed internet and communication service to all Malaysians. Lastly, they are support economic and social development through connectivity. The second one is mission of Telekom Malaysia. We deliver life made easier. So the mission is relate to their communication service for customer and business. They are also support Malaysia digital economy through the advanced technology and also encourage smart solution for business and government sector. So that's
for the telecom Asia. Okay, the first one is expanding digital infrastructure. So basically, they will try to expand their digital service so that it can be accessed throughout the whole Malaysia and maybe to other some part of the country later on. And the second one is driving technological innovation, which is to innovate a new technology so that it can further increase their reputation. Like for example, they are trying to create a new line, which is right now we currently using 4G for internet browser, right? So they are currently improving their connection speed to the 5G or maybe 6G in the future. Okay, that's it. And the third one, improving customer experience. Well, lately, TM got a lot of complaints about more about their speed. We all use the same internet, which is unified. That use the provider from TM lah. And as you know, it's sometimes got some problem with their connection speed. So they are trying to improve the connection speeds to improve the customer experience. And last but not least, strengthening partnership and business growth. So it's basically mean they are strengthening their partnership with other company and also to grow more their business so that it can reach wider audience and also wider consumer. That's all from me.
Shows that their strength is based on high-speed broadband services. So it's that actually TM offers a really good, and it shows a really good broadband, or I may say their intercom, more of their Wi-Fi services is actually more, how I say, satisfied to customer service. And it shows, I put the second point there, strong workforce. Actually, TM's workforce has more than 30,000 workers, which actually uses their knowledge and to encourage creativity and uphold how their service standards are. So that is their strength. Based on based on weaknesses is that they actually depend on the Malaysia market and not going through the other region, or I may say worldwide. So because it limits their revenue streams and actually get to only expose to companies which shows economic fluctuations. So it's difficult for them and it's actually limited for global exposure. So I put out limited global exposure is because that based on popularity, TM shows that only Malaysian, or I may say local telecom, only has this type of company and not other people or not other places. So within every other places, they have actually got multinational telecom, which is a massive corporation. So yeah. So based on opportunities is that they actually can expand based on their service offering. So I may say it's based on customer and how they can actually gain through the market and share how they accomplish through launching their new and creative product. Or I may say how they offer with their product. So growth in telecommunication services is that they actually do have chances on growing and expand through the market, and they can actually just rise their demands on telecommunication services, which means that because right now is the only unified that we're having right now is TM, and actually they can give a really high demand through the companies or through individuals. Okay, so lastly, threats. Threats, I may say regulatory changes, which means by TM's operation can actually be affected based on changing regulations, which requires actually a new guideline. So every places has its own guideline. Number two, lastly, technological changes. So I may say that mostly nowadays technology is changing and keep improving. So they have to actually really rapidly advance in their technology, or I may put through electricity or any products that really look forward to advanced products. So that is threats for TM. Next, we're looking through POLC, planning, organizing. So based on planning, they actually really try to improve on Malaysia's digital infrastructure. So how I may say, let me put up, based on 2024, they actually try to expand the area in where I may say IPDC. IPDC is Iskandar Putri something. So it's a data center. IPDC, Iskandar Putri data center. So it's actually in Johor, or I may say one more point is KBDC, Klang Valley or something like that. So it's actually in Cyberjaya, which they actually plan to expand or grow based on the demand that they are actually hosting. And yeah, they're trying to do the services based on domestically and abroad. So organizing, TM organizes 3 primary customers, which focuses on cluster. So how I may put on organizing is that they have a lot of types, which is like Unified, TM1 and TM Global. So this one really manages based on domestic and international business, depending on people and customer. Number 3, leading. Leading shows countries' digital development. So how I may put up this is that last time actually TM used to face a structure that really shows bad things, or I may say really involved in separation, cell phone, something like really caught up, really dropping kind of thing. So based on that, the present day Agada Group, or I may say Agada Arena, the Agata, they have a strategy which they implement to collaborate with other companies to create a high-speed broadband within the Malaysian government, or I may say with the Malaysian government for leading. So lastly, controlling. Controlling is that TM really tries to control based on their financial integrity, so including the operation, which upholds a really strict procedure, which is the capacity of how they throw out or how they really put through international communications, or how it demonstrates by its oversight by financial transaction and billing process. So it's not that easy for them to go through a central billing. So yeah, it has to go through a lot of stuff, like for example the underwater cable system, which leads to tunnels and most of the products So they're trying to control through it. Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay, for the CFR part for Telecom Malaysia, okay, so TM, which is Telecom Malaysia, is doing a lot of support to the country. First, we have Yayasan Telecom Malaysia, YTM, which is all about giving back to the community. They provide scholarship and financial aid to students, making sure education is accessible to those in need. Next is TM is constantly working to expand network connectivity. They are improving digital infrastructure across Malaysia, making sure both urban and rural areas get reliable internet access. And lastly, they play a huge role in providing high-speed broadband with the Unify. TM has made fast internet available to homes, business, even government sectors, helping to drive digital transformation in our country.
A conclusion, or how I may say, recommendation to our all. So for me, the company that is really based on how good they are, I would put through, how to say this, is that, okay, KPJ has responding way a lot stuff, and they actually do expand through telemedicine and 5G. Shows a dominant brand by adjusting on how they grow on their health consciousness, and in order the way they achieve by finding the organization with innovative moves in digital market. However, TM strategically takes advantage based on digital economy. So like among all that I see that I should show here is that really I would choose the SWOT analysis between everyone. I should choose Nestle because Nestle shows a really strategic adaptation and how they risk in the management. So they really risk based on their products and they really look out on improving through global market presence. So not just by looking through local, but they are going through abroad, which is true. They are actually having a worldwide product right now. So they also do try to invest in emerge technologies, not just by program or application, but they try to really go through with technologies. So I will put out that Nestle is really good based on their SWOT analysis and their POLC. So yeah, thank you.